to another episode of Morbid Visions. Very cold night tonight in New England. It's only about 5 degrees outside. But tonight I thought I would choose just 5 random obscure horror films, ones that don't get talked about very much anymore, and just recommend them and just discuss them. So jumping right in, put out by Arrow Video very recently, actually, finally. The Slayer. Very cool atmospheric horror film. I think it's from either 1981 or 82. It first got released on a double feature VHS a long time ago. I remember I rented it when I was in high school. It was one of those ones that just felt a little higher level than the other movies. Like, I've been renting, the Friday 13th movies and the other slasher movies and stuff. Just by the look of the VHS cover on this one, it just seemed like it was more brutal, more violent, a little more gory. So I rented it, and it was just a really cool movie. Kind of feels like a slasher film. It plays out like a slasher film. The lead character, she's having nightmares about someone coming after her. So 4 friends go on vacation onto a remote island, stay in this secluded house, and one by one, it plays out like a slasher film, basically. Great atmosphere. I love the atmosphere in this movie. It's a little slow, I guess you could say, by today's standards. Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's actually really entertaining, atmospheric, creepy. Not a very large body count, but what does happen in the movie, they are pretty brutal, and it's got some interesting gore in it. You see, like, the title creature on the cover, so it's no big surprise. But the one downside to the movie is you only see the creature for like 5 seconds at the end of the movie. They could have done a lot more with it. But aside from that, going in knowing that, cool movie. Definitely check it out. Okay, next we have a movie. I first saw it on television as a kid. I was staying over at my cousin's house, and he was looking through the TV guide. He's like, "Oh my God, we gotta watch this movie tonight. You're gonna love it." I was like, "Okay." The Car. Satanic car, possessed car movie. Simple as that. James Brolin from Amityville Horror. He's the star of it, and so, right off the bat, good acting. That's what's good about this movie. It's good. It's got quality actors in it. All the supporting cast, all the other cops that are work with James Brolin in the movie, all great actors. So you get really good high quality acting in this film. Cool locations. I'm not sure where this was supposed to. I think Arizona pops in my head. I think it might take place in Arizona, or supposed to, anyways. So you get these really grand shots of long desert roads and everything, and the car itself is one of the coolest movie vehicles ever. Really, honestly. Off the top of my head, I should have researched this right before I did this, but I forgot what type of car it was. But the car was custom built for the movie, and it's badass. It's just so cool. And one of the standout parts of the movie is whenever it's about to run someone down, it basically has truck air horns, and so these air horns just blare so loud and very menacing, very intimidating, and it's really cool. So definitely check this movie out. It's not gory. It's not, it's nothing like that. But it's a great movie. I actually enjoy this more than Christine. I think it's a better movie. And it's creepy too. So very well made. Okay, next we've got a crazy one from Indonesia. It says it's the holy grail of Asian cult cinema. Mystics in Bali. This movie is nuts. Acting is terrible. It's dubbed. The dubbing is terrible. But there's something about this movie. It's basically about black magic, witchcraft, and everything. And girl gets possessed, and the Liak witch takes control of her head, and her head separates and flies off, and drinks blood and searches blood for the witch. The story is actually a little complex, I guess, because there's a lot going on between rival witches. but it's the stuff they do in this movie. It's from like 1980, 1981. It's got lots of practical effects, not the greatest quality practical effects, but effective. It all works. What doesn't work, but it does work, but you just go in knowing they had the visual effects. They do visual effects in this, like simple stuff like, energy coming out of the hands and stuff like that. Horrible. It's just so badly done. But in the context of the movie, you just kind of deal with it and accept it, and it's part of the movie's charm. There's a sequence in this movie that's all done practical, and it's basically two battling witches that I think it's male and female, and they basically turn into fireballs, and it's all rigged up. Yeah, at one point you can actually see the rigging, unfortunately, but yeah, it's just basically completely flaming fireballs flying around, battling each other, knocking into each other. It's so wild and over the top that you just watch this and you're like, what the hell are they doing in this movie? So it's very cool movie, crazy movie. That's all I'll say for now. But yeah, Mystics in Bali, put out by Mondo Macabro. Whether it's still in print, probably not a very good chance of it, but you might find it on eBay or whatever. But yeah, Mystics in Bali you gotta seek this movie out if you love crazy over the top Asian movies. This is the one, so definitely check that out. Another crazy Asian movie, Wild Zero from Japan. This is basically a punk rock zombie movie. A super fan of a band is the main character, and the band is actually a real band called Guitar Wolf from Japan, punk rock band. Lots of energy, it's just a very fun movie. The zombies aren't the great. It's kind of comedy. It's a wacky movie, but again, it's just they go so far over the top with some of the sequences. It's just you sit there and it's one of those movies you just sit there and watch like, what the hell are they doing? It's got some CGI gore, which normally I hate, but there's a lot of CGI like headshots in this movie, but they're done so ridiculous that it's like a zombie just turns around and just gone. It's like it makes you laugh. It's done with really high energy, fun, just a lot of fun, crazy movie. There's a sequence where I think they're trapped at a gas station, and Guitar Wolf pulls up and he has a guitar pick in his hand. I think it's just one guitar pick, but then all of a sudden he's just like, and all these guitar picks are flying out, killing all the zombies as like ninja throwing stars. And you just sit there and watch it like, what? What the hell? It's got a lot of sequences like that where just anything goes. Just anything goes. It's just such... You'll see movies where in the review they use the word bonkers to describe the movie. That word describes this movie. This movie is bonkers. It's a lot of fun. The finale is just crazy. You're watching it again, you're just like, what the hell is going on? Oh my god, alright, cool, whatever, fun. Very, very entertaining. Put out by Synapse. Again, I don't know if this is still in print. I got this quite a while ago. I can't remember what year this came out. But fun movie. Very cool movie. Alright, and the last one. Very sought after movie. Didn't get a very big release. It got put out by United Artists, which I don't really know much about, but definitely one of the most bizarre films ever made. Begotten. The visuals in this movie, it's just like the process the director went through to create this movie is insane. Massive dedication. Most people don't understand what's happening in this movie. I didn't understand the first time I watched it. But then once you read about it, and then if you see the chapters, once you read the chapters, it pretty much gives it away. But it's basically it's the creation of Mother Earth, and like humans creating God and then killing God, and it's basically humans destroying Mother Earth, I guess you could say. It's black and white, very gritty looking, purposely done. I remember reading I read a review for this. It might have been in Deep Red magazine. I can't remember, but in the review, they mentioned an interview where they said the director said he wanted it to look like the movie was made 1,000 years ago, and it does. It looks like some ancient relic that was discovered, and you're just watching this wondering, what the hell am I watching? But it's just so fascinating to watch, and it's pretty violent too. Slow paced, but the stuff that happens in it, it's kind of like, whoa, geez, it just has this very realistic, brutal feel to it. It's a hit and miss with people. Some people don't like it; they think it's boring. But go into this movie just admiring what it took to create this movie, and just what went into creating the visuals you are watching. It's a fascinating thing to look at. Yes, the word tedious has been used many times to describe this movie, and I will admit, yes, that is a word that kind of helps describe it. I think the first time I watched it, it took me 3 sittings to get through. I watched like a half hour, and then I think I went in 8, and I came back again. I watched another, and then it's a taxing movie to watch, but in a good way, because it's like you're so overwhelmed by the visuals that it's like you kind of have to step away and you're like, all right, I gotta process what the hell I just saw, and I'll come back to it and finish it. But definitely a cool movie. This DVD gets ridiculously high price on eBay. This thing goes for crazy money. But the cool thing about this DVD is, if you are willing to spend the money for it, I should have researched. I didn't research right before doing this, but it does come with a cool booklet. It comes with a good booklet that describes, the movie, discuss what it's about. So at least, if you're paying a lot for this movie, at least you know it. At least go in knowing that. At least you get a cool, story booklet with it. So you're not getting just a DVD. So there's supposedly a Blu-ray in the works on this movie, but I read that like 2 years ago. There's been discussions about this movie being re-released, so whether it's happening, I don't know. As of filming right now, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Blu-ray could come out, also be announced, and it's going to come out in 2 months, but don't know. I bought this as soon as it came out. I tried to get it at Suncoast. I asked them because I thought United Artists was I assumed this was a big label, but they didn't have it in their system, so I think I ordered this from a company called Laser Exchange that I got a lot of my Laserdiscs from. That was in Maine. I think I ordered it from them. They carried it. But yeah, it's become one of the holy grails of independent cinema now, just because it's very hard to find, and it's just one of the most bizarre movies ever made, and it's made extremely well. Definitely worth it. So, all right, cool. Well, there's just 5 random movies that I thought you might be interested in, and ones that don't get talked about as much. So, just to recap: The Slayer, The Car, Mystics in Bali, Wild Zero, and Begun. All right. If you like this video, please like it. Subscribe to More Vision Films if you haven't, and I will see you soon.